morning, everybody. How are you? Look who's joining me for the React. Booger. So, I'm waking up this morning, having my coffee. My cat decided to jump on my lap while I'm doing the React. Come here. My coffee and my cat. I don't think I need anything else right now. So, anyway, yeah, last night Chantal went live and she had herself a little bit of a hissy fit. Aw, poor Chantal having a little hissy fit. And she is supposed to be participating in Ramadan. Although she is diabetic, which would make her medically exempt. She doesn't have to fast. She doesn't have to go without water. But she was ragey anyway. I guess she's been online and she's been on the reaction channels and been on Twitter and seen a lot of the comments from people talking about her, say, praying in the wrong direction. People on Twitter exposing she's praying in the wrong direction and just different things. And she is just mad, just all the way mad. And I'm not quite sure if she's manufactured mad, like she's just acting like she's mad just to have something to talk about, to have some topic of conversation that's interesting because her views have been in the toilet, or if she's all the way real mad at, say, Salah. Kind of hard to tell with Chantal. She's such a liar. It's hard to tell if she's really mad or she's just pretending to be mad. But yeah, she went live last night around 10. I was actually reacting to it while it was going on, but I didn't have much energy. You ever get so tired that you just, your eyelids start shutting? That was me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to save the react until tomorrow when I've had some proper sleep. And that way I can give it my all and I'm not just, falling out. So yeah, she had herself a rager and we're going to cover it. And something interesting happened during her live. So for those that don't know, for those that are not aware, Chantal has a former associate by the name of Missy Moo. Missy Moo was a hardcore beezer. Yes, she was. She was doing some stuff for Chantal behind the scenes, helping her dox people. I mean, she rolled hard for Chantal, and they supposedly had a falling out. Well, Missy Moo has been spotted in places where she shouldn't be. She's been spotted in Chantal's Twitch chat. Now I ask you, if you had a falling out with somebody, a real falling out, would they be hanging around you? Would they be in your Twitch chat? No. So last night when Chantal had her chat going, Missy Moo showed up in the chat. And I ask you again, if you have a problem with somebody online, would you allow them into your chat? I don't think so. I think you'd block that person. So why wasn't Missy Moo blocked from both Chantal's YouTube channel and her Twitch? Why is this person being allowed to be around Chantal if Chantal and Missy Moo allegedly don't like each other? So yeah, interesting and strange, is it not? I'm going to give my view on it real quick. I don't trust Missy Moo. Somebody who rolls that hard for somebody else and then allegedly things are over. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think Missy Moo has been in Chantal's back pocket this entire time. And proof of that can be found in the fact that you got to know that Missy knows a lot of stuff about Chantal. And yet she will not drop all the dirty tea. She just won't. And that's a pattern with Chantal, really. When it comes to people around Chantal, even though they have the power to drop all the dirty tea and all the receipts, they just don't. They absolutely don't. They'll talk about Chantal, but they'll stop at a certain point. Like they're saying a whole lot of nothing about a whole lot of nothing, acting like they're talking about something, but they won't cross that red line. And you have to wonder, does Chantal have stuff on each of these people, really bad stuff, and that's why they won't talk? So either Chantal's got stuff on people, and that's why they won't talk, or they're still in her back pocket as friends. It's got to be one of the two, y'all. Anyway, that's my little speculation for the day. And we're going to get into all the stuff on Twitter and then the live stream itself. And you guys can see how unnecessarily ragey she is. Like, where did this come from? What made her upset? I don't know. All right, so let's start here. I've been gathering stuff all morning. Miss Anthropo Lulu says, Foodie Beauty. Well, this is a new fun face shape. Yeah, the shape of Chantal's face just keeps changing. It has to do with her filters or maybe bloating from eating too much sodium. But she just can't decide what face shape she's doing. This looks like she's doing like the hourglass type face shape. Wide on top, dense on the eyes, and then wide on bottom. Kind of like the hourglass effect. I'm not sure what this is, but I don't know. Okay. Lauren says she definitely read the comments about her fupa forehead. Yeah, everybody's been talking about Chantal's, that her forehead, she's getting, her forehead shape is changing. So I kind of noticed that too last night with her live, that she was pulling the hijab like almost down to her eyes. Whereas a lot of women, when they wear the hijab normally ends right after the hairline. It's way up here. Hers is way down here. So she must be looking at the different comments for people remarking about the shape of her face and her forehead, and she doesn't like it. Okay, not only did Chantal do a ragey live, but I guess she also did some community posts. This is Florida Salt and Sass posting one of the posts. Florida Salt and Sass says, but you did, and you will again. This is turning into another one of your, I'm going to start my diet tomorrow. No one here mocks your religion as much as you do. Facts. No one is as hypocritical as you are. And you're not the one that should be complaining about doxing. Nope. So this is the post from Foodie saying, oh, and one more thing. I am far from bringing myself down to their level. In order to do that, I would have to make a hate channel and target one individual only, making hundreds or thousands of videos. Ma'am? Ma'am, can we talk? Ma'am. More than half your content anymore is reacting to reactors, especially FFG. You love to put FFG's name in your mouth. As a matter of fact, with this rage that we're about to go into, you bring up FFG unnecessarily. So you've already done that. I would have to make hundreds or thousands of videos fat shaming, nitpicking, religion mocking, doxing, making fun of family members, and defaming them every single way. You've been there, done that already. You do that with your lives, Chantal. All of those you've done. When I point out their hypocrisies or pettiness or lies, it's always a rage, but when they sit there on a stream for hours yelling like psychopaths that they cannot stand me or make videos 10 minutes after I post to whine and whine, yet watch every single thing I do, this is totally normal behavior. Well, Chantal. You know why, Chantal? It's not because we're making tons of money. A lot of us are not making tons of money off of you. Let's just let that be known right now. None of us are getting rich off of you. It ain't happening. YouTube takes too much. You know, you get paid peanuts to be a reactor. It's really rare to find a channel that's a reaction channel that they do extremely well. And hats off to them if they do. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. But we're not getting rich off of you. We're not. But you know why I do it? Because you've been on YouTube for so long. Your story has been going on for so many years that people, they want to keep up with this story, but they don't like you. You're such a horrible person. They don't want to watch your content full strength on your channel. They want to watch it through somebody else. That way they can keep up with this story but not give you the view. Because they don't like you. You're an unlikable person. So it's almost like being a news reporter. You know, you're trying to keep up with the news, so anybody who wants to know the news, they can keep up with it too, without going directly to the source, because the source is too toxic. That's why I do it. You know, I try to make it more entertaining. I do my best, but I'm keeping up with this story so that other people can keep up with it, and we can all have fun together. How about that? Where are we at right now? Okay, I got it. Anyway, going forward, I will not allow these toxic people to soil Ramadan with negativity. Chantal, you raged last night. You might as well just start over. You were raging last night. Yes, you were. You picked Ramadan as your rage moment when you should stay away from raging. I don't know what it is exactly that lit a fire under your butt. Could it be views? Did Salah make you mad? Could it be a combination of things? Don't know. But you are mad. But you're picking the wrong time to be mad, mama. Yes, you are. Okay, so I wanted to make a point, but in the end, it's just sad that this community only thrives on pettiness and bullying, all to make a buck in their sad lives. Ma'am, Chantal, you make money off of drama and rage. Sad as it is, that's the only interesting thing about your channel. It could be different, but what do we got to pick from? What's in the box? We have you eating food excessively. And sorry, most of us are not foodie people. We're not. We're not interested in the food fetish. We're not fascinated by it. We're not enthralled by it. So if you're not a foodie, it's just not your jam. What are you left with? Rage, drama. That's the only interesting thing you show us. And I have to say, as someone who's been reacting to you for years, even the rages aren't interesting anymore. It's you raging about the same stuff over and over and over again, the same people over and over and over again. It's old, it's tired. Girl, it's yesterday's news. Take that newspaper and throw it in the trash. There's nothing new here. Absolutely nothing. It's really sad when even the rages are boring. God, I remember when you would go on a rager and all the reaction channels would tune in. Now it's like, oh, she's mad? Oh, okay, I'll get to it later. It's that bad, Chantal. It really is that bad. Not even your rages are interesting. Julie says, Chantal posted this at 3 p.m. Kuwait time. You're meant to be fasting and being thankful. Instead, you're raging on YouTube and seething in your little cell alone. Gosh, when are you going to give up this facade? You're obviously miserable. Yes, she is. It's so strange to me. She won't come on camera and say outright, I'm miserable. But yet she proves how miserable she is every time she does a live, and she's mad at weird hours, going off about little things. She just proves that she's miserable, because people who are truly happy don't let little things bother them. They're like, I'm happy. They said this, don't care. But every little thing is bothering her, which means she's alone and she's focusing on nothing but what other people are saying. Okay, so I guess this is a post she did saying, it's not daylight in this picture. It's called a lamp, which has been there in almost every video mukbang. Also, Maghreb breaking fast time appears or happens when it's still light out. The sun starts going down at that time. Excuse me. But for a bit, it is still light out, so that proves nothing. Actually, it proves that people on this platform are so dedicated to try and find any nuance or any hint that I'm not following Islam to a T. Here's an idea, oh righteous ones. Worry about yourselves and leave Islam and Ramadan out of your toxic drama channels. Yeah, but you brought it to your channel, Chantal. You decided to make that part of your content, a talking point. So once you do that, people are free to talk about it. And when we talk about it, it's not in a Islamophobic way. There's nobody that's Islamophobic. When we talk about you, it has nothing to do with hating on Islam or anybody who's Muslim. It has to do with you. It's about you and your behavior and you claiming to have a certain faith in your heart. And clearly you do not. You're cosplaying. You know, you get on camera, you're smoking, you're drinking, you're cursing, you're gossiping, you're raging. That's why it's a talking point. It's a real talking point because of you. And it's not about hating on a faith or hating on a country. It's that you decided to make this part of your content. So people that are watching your content, they see you doing things that normally a Muslim woman would not do, behaving in a way a Muslim woman would not normally behave. And yeah, we're going to comment about it. Judge Judy says, everyday Miriam, you got 100K subs, but nobody waiting to watch your live. Nobody. And I was actually watching the live last night, y'all. She had less than 300 people in her live, even after starting to stream for an hour. Yeah, riveting content, Chantal. Riveting. Perfectly Imperfect says, one of the main rules of Ramadan is to practice self-restraint. Oh dear, pious Miriam, maybe you should be praying more rather than fighting with your audience members on your community post. And yes, people can comment on your so-called religious journey since you have decided to monetize on it. True. Them's the rules. That's right. Hey, you put the food on the table, anybody can eat it. If you bring something to the table and you put it on the table, it's a talking point. Not just now, but forever. That's the rules. Hey, that's just the way it is. That is. Uh-oh. Here's Chantal getting mad at somebody. So DZ asked the question, why is there sunlight? And why does Salah does not eat with you? This is sketchy. Next time, show the time when you break the fast. Chantal went after this person. Mind you, this is not a reactor. This is just somebody asking a question. They're just pointing out that what she's doing is sketchy. Chantal decided to make an entire community post about this person, saying, listen, DZ, who do you think you are that I owe you any kind of proof of fasting? Who made you the official fasting police? Check the post below this one. It's a lamp and it's still daylight when the fast ends. The only thing sketchy is a community of weirdos with their magnifying glasses out and still getting it wrong. Even if I show the time when I break my fast, you petty bored people will only accuse me of manipulating the clock. I owe you nothing. Oh, and Salah doesn't eat with me when I do a mukbang. I've said a million times he doesn't want to be in the videos doing the mukbangs. Well, you can show him without doing a mukbang, Chantal. Okay, does like showing like the first meal or the fasting meal, does that have to be a mukbang? You can't just show yourself sharing a meal with your husband. Why does it have to be a mukbang? You're always thinking about freaking mukbang content when you can easily have a meal and it not be a mukbang. But yeah, going after somebody that's on her channel. This person says, you should stop watching content about you. And Chantal says, oh, and one more thing. I am far from bringing myself down to their level. In order to do that, I would have to make a hate channel and target one individual only, which she kind of does already. She targets FFG. Been there, did that. Check off that box. The people are saying, don't watch content about you. Leave the reaction channels alone. Stop paying attention. She won't do it. She needs content. Ah, here we go. What are the main rules and rituals observed during Ramadan? The main rules include abstaining from eating, drinking, smoking, and sexual activity from dawn to sunset, along with practicing self-restraint, prayer, and acts of charity. Suhoor, the pre-dawn meal, and iftar, the meal to break the fast, are significant rituals. Yes. And she's not even staying calm. And because she's a diabetic, she doesn't have to really adhere to Ramadan as far as the eating. So, like, where's all this anger coming from? She's medically exempt from Ramadan. Katie says, I Googled it. She's good. For Muslims, Ramadan is a time to train themselves both physically and spiritually by avoiding any negative acts such as gossiping, backbiting, lying, or arguing. Muslims welcome Ramadan as an opportunity for self-reflection and spiritual improvement, and as a means to grow in moral excellence. Well, she's already ruined it. She's already ruined it. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Chicken Pickle. Thank you, Chicken Pickle. Chicken Pickle says, remember when Chantal swore in the name of Allah, like within the last 2 weeks, that she's never used Photoshop? Let's look at these apps. Do I see any beauty apps here? And I'm looking for the beauty apps. What beauty apps does she use? Oh, look, Pixar AI photo editor. Oh. So she's using Pixar, is she? That's interesting. I was looking for the beauty apps, actually. Okay, what else we got here? Come on. Okay, this is from Yup Yup. And during Chantal's live stream, she was going after Frenchie. I guess Frenchie had a personal situation of being evicted, trying to use that as kind of a gotcha moment against Frenchie. Yup Yup says, see here, Foodie, being evicted or being sued for non-payment of rent are poor people problems. Going bankrupt multiple times and not paying your taxes by huge amounts are rich people problems. Who do you think we have more sympathy for? Well, the case is clear for me. I have more sympathy for the person that couldn't pay the rent than the person who had the money and decided not to pay. So I'm on the side of the poor people. Yes, I am. Hidden Truth says, Foodie Beauty, so it's okay to degrade women just as long as it's a fantasy. It's okay to talk about wanting to essay a woman just as long as it's a fantasy. Lots of people have fantasies, but many do act on them. If she didn't publicize their conversations, who is to say he wouldn't have? I don't know. Let's watch.
There's a reason it's called a fantasy. That's not real. You can't judge somebody based on a stupid fantasy. Okay? So, yeah. And what is that excuse? Does he have a channel making fun of a whole religion, or talking about a religion and picking apart a religion, or how a Muslim worships their religion? No, he doesn't. So get out of here. You don't know how to compare things. Like, no logic. Like, it's done, So I don't know. He might start making content again, but he's busy with other things now. Like, he just wasn't really having that. Like, he likes to do the vlogs when we're traveling and stuff, but in poor.
More excuses about why he's not there. He's never around. Never. Never. Always an excuse after excuse about why he can't be around. I think he only comes around when she basically threatens him or she begs him to do it. Then he might make a rare appearance. They have conversations where she's like, Salah, it's been so long and people keep asking me about you. Just come on over and act like we're still together, just so everybody will be quiet. And so he does. He makes like a brief appearance. I think we won't see him for another few months. But he's been absent more and more. And let's talk about fantasies, Chantal. I'd like to talk about your fantasies for a minute, because it kind of points in the way of your thinking. Can we bring up the fantasies that you had in Cuba involving Natter and things that you've said in the past? You have said on live stream that you think having sex with men who just get out of jail is hot, because men that just get out of prison or get out of jail, they're really desperate. They haven't been with a woman in a long time. So you wanted to find a guy that has just gotten out of prison that hasn't been with a woman yet. You thought, oh, that's so hot. Yeah, she actually said that, y'all. Also, along that same lines, when she was in Cuba, she actually said her fantasy was for Natter to go to jail and be there for him when he got out. It kind of works into that whole a desperate guy just getting out of prison, hasn't been with a woman yet. It kind of works in that same vein. But she wanted Natter to go to prison and then be there for him when he got out. That's how much of a control freak this woman is. That in order to feel secure within herself, that she would send a man to prison or be happy with him in prison, and wanting that man to be so incredibly desperate that when they got out that they would have sex with her. There's how much of a predator she is, because that's predator behavior. Anywho, Julie says now she's proving she's fake praying in the right direction. Oh yes, definitely not watching reaction channels the entire time you're not sleeping. Malarkey Meter says it's 8 a.m. in Kuwait. Foodie Beauty obviously hasn't slept yet, and she's raging to Reactor. She says she never watches. Keep it up, cutie. You're doing great. Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning. You're supposed to be married. Why aren't you in bed with your husband? It's stuff like this that proves to us that you are by yourself all the time, Chantal, streaming at wee hours of the morning. Katie says someone posted this on the farms. I know they had looked into it the last time she was praying in the wrong direction. So I guess Mecca, the Persian Gulf is here. Mecca is this way. So she is praying in the wrong direction. Okay, for those that y'all know who this dog is. This is Buster. This is Chantal's mom's dog, Buster. Buster hates Chantal. And we love Buster, don't we?
Can you give me a kiss? Can I have a kiss?
No.
Can I have a kiss?
Buster hates her.
What? Have a kiss.
He fucking hates me.
And this is actually, Kristen, thank you for posting this. It's like a collection of different animals that don't like Chantal. So there's Buster. There's her cat, Sam. And I already knew that that cat was going to bite her. When a cat does, a cat's their ears are normally like facing forward, but their ears flatten back when they're mad or they're aggravated. Look at Sam's ears. He was going in. He was like, "You're bugging me. Leave me alone."
You got to see Kiwi. Here.
You want to say bye, Kiwi? He's gonna snatch my wig. Bye, Kiwi. Say bye, Kiwi. He ate my hair. Oh. I saw him go for my eye. He bit my finger.
He wouldn't go for it.
That was Roman's bird, Kiwi. And then there's
hello. I miss petting cat. Ow, it bit me. Don't
I love this. I love seeing animals disrespect Chantal. She deserves it.
bite me. I want to pet the zebra. Hi. Oh. Showed me his teeth.
So there's no animals that like Chantal. They don't like her.
It's hissing at us. We want her hurt you.
You know, leave it to Chantal that when an animal is giving obvious signs they don't like you, they don't want you in their face, leave it to Chantal to lean in closer rather than take the hint and go away. So this cat is like, he's giving all the signs. I don't like you. Get away from me, woman. And she's not listening.
Oh.
Look, ears flattened back, hissing. It's giving a warning.
Oh. Oh wow. He's running away from me. Do you want to touch him?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
Even the stingrays don't like her. Stingray bitter. But to be fair to the stingray, her finger probably looked like a worm or something.
It's my finger. I think it did.
Nope. And we got the geese. And geese can have some attitude. They really can. And that one's hissing at her saying, get away from me. I'm going to hurt you.
Oh, you hissed at me.
And then the camel.
Oh, he kicked me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Harry, enough. No, Harry.
I don't think there's any animals that like Chantal. Oh my. Okay, Florida Sultan says, you were told this before you got more pets. You could have also have returned him when you did the others. Fupa Olympic says Chantal admits that Harry doesn't seem happy, and so she wouldn't get another hamster because she's too lazy to give them a good home. Here's a thought. How about researching an animal and how to properly care for them before buying one on a whim? Well, here's another thought. If you have a pet that you don't want to take care of, and you can tell they're obviously not happy, how about find them a better home? If you have a pet and clearly you're not feeling them or they're not feeling you, do the right thing and find them a better home. That way they're not living with you. Chantal shouldn't have any pets at all, period. If she's having trouble taking care of herself, she has no business having animals around her that depend on her. So, like, Julia needs a better home, and so does Harry. She doesn't need pets. She's keeping the pets around as just something for attention and deflection. That's all. But let's watch the clip.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he has 2 wheels. I think that's why I don't want a hamster. I feel like I can't make him happy. You know, I just don't have the talent or the means to build him a huge compound like some of those you see on social media.
Then you know what? Again, if you have a pet and they're not happy and you feel like you're not giving enough, give them to somebody who can. Show a little bit of unselfishness. Stop thinking of yourself. Think for the pet. What's best for them? That's what you do. Stop having this attitude of, I don't want it, but I don't want anybody else to have it, Chantal. That is so selfish. Think of something other than yourself right now. Hidden Truths says, Foodie Beauty, how is she able to pray with severe sciatica pain? She was moaning and crying in her last room of how bad it was. It can hardly walk, but here she is, shows her morning prayer or performance. Is she even praying in the right direction? Why is she looking side to side? Yeah, I found that weird. Oh, oops, sorry. So there's the living room. And if you got sciatica, you can't do that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Would never happen. And this whole move of looking side to side, I don't know what that's about. Who was somebody filming her? And why does she look so unhappy? Okay, this is from Lauren saying, nasty. Yeah, so Chantal's been popping up with some bumps or warts or something on her hands. They've been spotted. This person says, indeed, we found that most HPV detected in the hand likely came from a person's own genital HPV infection. I'm not sure what this is. I could speculate, but I don't know for sure. But so there's a spot on her hand, and there's a couple more, one on her other finger, one on her index finger, and one on her palm. So like I don't know what that is. I don't know what that might be. You may want to have go look at that, Chantal. And more people pointing out the spots. Florida Salt and Sass says, why is Missy Moo trying to talk to someone into a backdoor bariatric surgery that's still actively having B moments? It won't save her life. It's going to end it quicker when she gets defiant and goes off and is non-compliant with the post-op restrictions. People need to stop telling her this crap. Agreed. Chantal has an active raging issue with food. No doctor worth his degree would ever operate on her just for that reason. That's not counting all of her health problems. Her non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Her liver is 3 times the size of normal. And that was the last time she talked about it. It could actually be worse right now. She's got an enlarged heart. She's had a history of blood clots in her lungs. She's got diabetes. I mean, she's messed up from tip to tail. She would be high risk on the table, as it were. But let's just say for a minute she didn't have those problems. The fact that she's got an active raging issue with food, and if the doctor gives her surgery to reduce the size of her stomach, that problem is in her head. Reducing the stomach is not going to fix that. So Chantal's still going to want to have B moments. And then if after the surgery she tries to do it, either she's going to bust up her stomach or make herself physically ill. So I don't know why Missy Moo is trying to talk her into some kind of surgery. Missy Moo, you're an idiot. You hear me? You're an idiot. Telling someone who's got an active, raging, out of control, extreme issue with food to go have the surgery when they're not in the place to do so. You understand? The surgery is not going to fix the addiction. She needs inpatient. She needs therapy. She needs coping mechanisms, coping skills. She's nowhere near ready for that kind of surgery. You got to get on top of the problem before you have that kind of surgery. She's not even close. She's not even started with it. So stop it. Everybody stop suggesting for Chantal to get that surgery. It's not an option for her. As I understand it, doctors who do that kind of surgery, they want to see progress. They want to see a history of you losing weight. And they want to see your diet, and they want to see that you're decreasing your portions. They want to know that you're on the right path before they do that kind of invasive surgery. They want to know that it's going to be worth it for you, that it's not going to go wrong after. Chantal would never be able to. Okay. Lean cuisine enthusiast, I guess, talking about Chantal. This person, Bibbly Bobbly, says, if she did faint or go into a coma, do they have a plan for how to get her collapsed body out of that apartment? Lean cuisine enthusiast says, I'll tell you, former embalmer, I would need 4 people to move her. I would need to use 2 normal gurneys and a cargo elevator. If they don't have a cargo elevator, I would have to use a papoose-looking thing to stand her up like a marionette, then wheel her out on a UPS-looking trolley. So it sounds like a process just to get her out of the apartment. You're going to have more than one person to carry her out because, one person is going to break their back. Miss Anthropo says, scam of a marriage in a nutshell, 1 out of 2. Loophole equals sketch AF. People with them equals the paid fixers. Have to be married to get an apartment equals the only reason for said on paper marriage was to get her a place. He doesn't live there. Continued. Okay, continued. Miss Anthropo goes on to say, 2, conclusion, fake marriage equals strictly a business arrangement for her to avoid paying her back taxes or to pay them while making non-taxable money. if this doesn't convince you all it's a scam, you should probably become a beezer. So let's watch the clip.
Like, if you watch my courthouse wedding, what happened is basically, technically, yeah, you're not supposed to be able to, but you can appeal to the court. So we had to go to the courthouse a few times. We had to bring some witnesses. We had help from people, you know, who know the inside of the court and stuff.
I don't like that kind of talk. If you're doing things the right way, why do you have to go about things in a sketchy way? You know, if you don't have to go around the block, why would you? Like, she keeps using the words loopholes and we found a loophole. You look for loopholes when you can't get things done the regular way. So, like, what is the loophole, Chantal? What is the loophole? Excuse me. What's the doggone loophole? And why did you have to use a loophole to begin with? Why?
We got married right away because we can't legally be together, sleeping in the same place.
Why not? You're supposed to be married. If you two are married, then that means legally you can be together, right? I mean, a couple that's really married can live together. So why can't you guys live together?
We're not married. And the thing is that you can pick like a date. It's so weird. You can say, okay, I want this to be the date of our marriage. Like when you go to get married and sign the documents, it's very not the same. Like with some legal processes, there's a little bit of leeway with certain things. I don't know how they do it, but I'm falling into their trap. I don't care.
By the way, I've heard and I've seen this online. If you're someone and you are in a tourist visa, which she is, she's not a permanent resident, you can't get married. You can't get married on a tourist visa. So there's that too.
Well, yeah, Caroline, I know, but for this particular thing, like I've already like explained that. I thought like in the video with our courthouse marriage or a live stream around that, you know. But other than that, I won't say anything. So.
I've always said I think this whole thing is a paid business arrangement. I've been saying for the longest that I think, like, let me just go back a little bit. Y'all follow me here, and you guys can tell me what you think. Let's go back all the way to right about the time of the Natter arc. This is just my theory, and I'm putting it on the table. I think, like, I don't know exactly what happened with Chantal, but I think something in her just kind of snapped. Like something happened. I don't know if she got some personal news or a medical diagnosis or something, but something I feel happened where she decided to just take her hands off the steering wheel and let it crash into a wall. Something happened to make her just lose complete, total control. And that's where the Natter arc came from. She got it in her head that she wanted to be with a man. That she was going to do all the party favors and do all the food and just go wild. I don't know what happened, but I feel like something did. Could it be some kind of medical diagnosis? Maybe a doctor told her something, and maybe she just had this thinking of, well, screw it. I don't have long anyway. So I'm just going to just go for it. I got nothing to lose. I feel like something happened. And she just got obsessed with being with a man. Like she put herself on that serious quest to be with a man. And maybe part of that bucket list, nothing to lose attitude is before she crosses over to the other side, she wanted to know what it was like to be in a relationship, to have a man by her side and know what it is to be married. And so maybe her and Salah came up with this business deal of you pretend to be my husband and I'll pay you and I'll compensate you, but you play this role on camera for me so I kind of get the experience of what it's like to actually have a partner. I mean, you guys can tell me what you think, but I've always thought it was a paid arrangement. But I have to wonder if it's part of a bucket list. Like if she's got a bucket list, oh, I want to reach 100K and I wanted to know what it's like to be married. Because maybe she's on limited time and she knows it. And yes, she doesn't care. She's not trying to extend the time. So what do you guys think? You tell me in the comments.
Oh yeah, he's in his apartment right now. So yeah, we got married a different way, basically. Crickets. Really? Crickets? Oh no. Hi, Teardrop. How are you?
Yeah, you got married in a different way. Yeah, the fake way. That's how you got married. It's a fake marriage. It's a paid arrangement between you and Salah. And now he can't get rid of you, and that's his fault for being an idiot. But it is what it is. It's okay. All right. It took a while to go through all of that. So let's switch on over to the live stream where she's a bit ragey and captures some of that. She's so annoyed, and it's all her fault because she watches the reaction channels and Twitter and all that. So you set yourself up to be mad, Chantal, but let's go, y'all.
Go buy one. They're not that expensive. Okay. So, it was brought to my attention that people are lying on me and finding entertainment in lying on my religion and making a mockery of my religion. So I thought I would show you, apparently when I'm praying, I'm not praying in the right direction. So I just want to show.
You know, Chantal, you tried to sell to us that Salah is there with you. You say to us, he's sleeping. So if that's true, you are a rude biche. Because it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and if he's sleeping in the other room, you're in the living room, and the place is small, and sound carries in a small house. You're up at 8 a.m. doing this nonsense when you shouldn't be during Ramadan. You know, you're not selling this happy marriage to us very well.
Show you that that's a lie, 100% lie. Hi, Grandma. So as you can see, why don't you just get an app? I have an app. Look it. You see, this is my front page of my.
Okay, like, excuse me, y'all. I'm nosy.
My phone.
Okay, so let's check out her apps. Thank you, Chantal, because I'm looking for something. What is that? We got Cameo. We got Gallery. What is that? We got. I'm looking at her apps. I want to see what the beauty apps are. Why do you still have a blurry picture, Chantal? Turn on a light. You got WhatsApp. So we got the WhatsApp here, talking to people on WhatsApp. What is this up here? Is that a beauty app? Cameo, Instagram.
Here, this is the Qibla app. Qibla is the direction of prayer, okay? So that's the direction you must face Mecca, all right? Yes, you must face Mecca, the Kaaba. And this is the Quran Pro. It shows me my prayer times, all this and that, all right? So lie number 1 dispelled. Lie number 2, here, this little thing here, this is the, this will show you, this is the Kaaba, okay? The Holy Kaaba. This will show you the direction of prayer. So, as you can see in my video where I was praying here, okay, you see that? That's the direction of prayer, right here, right here. Okay, so, yeah, I was praying here. This is the direction. Okay, this is the Qibla. Okay. And also, last Ramadan, we were not even in.
By the way, hold on. Do you guys see behind her? Why are the pillows on the floor? I'm just asking questions. Like, the pillows are off the couch on the floor.
This apartment. We were in the other apartment in Fahahil. And again, there. Hi, Stratford Changes. Hi, everybody. We were facing the right direction. My husband's been Muslim his whole entire life. Okay. No, he's not perfect, but doesn't matter. He knows the direction of prayer. I'm pretty sure. Okay. compared to people who are criticizing it, saying we don't know, who are not even Muslim.
Okay, you know what? I'm not speaking for anyone of the Muslim faith, but I find it rather strange that if Salah is a Muslim man, how is he okay with someone like Chantal? With all the things she's done and all the things she said, if he's devoted to his faith, how can he be okay with her committing gluttony, with the cursing, with the raging, especially during Ramadan? Smoking on camera, doing the shisha on camera, being high out of her mind on camera, using swear words. How is he okay with that? Why is he okay with that?
Muslim have not prayed a day in their life, an Islamic prayer, have not prayed Salah a day in their life, know nothing, are Islamophobic, and just plain ignorant.
Criticizing you does not equal Islamophobia. Criticizing you and your actions have nothing to do with Islamophobia. I've looked around the community, Chantal. I have not seen anybody who is going after those who are part of Islam or Muslim. We talk about you. You tried to use the Muslim people and the Muslim faith as a shield for your bad behavior. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And again, this has nothing to do with the Muslim faith and the Muslim people. There's lots of people that are Muslim that this has nothing to do with them. They're not involved.
And dumb. So yeah. So there you go. All right. I don't have an undercap on, so my hijab is slipping a lot. It's like it's
Yeah, everybody's been remarking on your forehead growing, and isn't it funny that you're covering it up? And I've noticed over time, as she's gained weight, you know, like when you wear your hijab, I've seen other ladies do it. Their hijab, it starts right after the hairline. It's way up here. Hers is crept down like past her eyebrows. Like it's all the way. Like, it's doing it. It's giving these vibes, Chantal. You know, you're trying to use the hijab to cover yourself. It's down to your eyebrows.
a conversation we shouldn't even be having. Like there's an entire community of bored people who have no life and no content. So they make content out of bagging on a Muslim for their how they practice their religion, when they're the biggest cruds on this planet, and are surely like, how are you going to judge somebody?
Chantal, can I remind you of something? I think I will. When you were in Canada and all the stuff from Salah and Kai Bella came out, you were talking about taking off the hijab, like just like that. You weren't even considering carrying on with pretending to be a Muslim. You're like, why am I doing this for? Also, another moment that happened when you were talking to Salah. You were talking with Pete's in the kitchen, and you were asking Pete's, well, in order to wear the hijab, do I have to be a Muslim? And he said, yeah. And you said, okay, I guess I'm a Muslim. You were very nonchalant about it. So yeah, that happened too.
For how they practice their religion, when you're the most vile people on the internet and you shouldn't even have a platform. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, ever since you reverted, this community suddenly became Islamic scholars. Exactly. And they're wrong, you know? Like, I heard on your mama's stream a crappy reactor say, and she didn't pray in the right direction last year. What? This is just lies. Like flat out lies. We weren't even in this apartment last year.
You know what, Chantal? It's a real shame. It is such a shame that you were in Canada and you were living a really degenerate kind of life. And you had the chance to go to another country where you are away from some of your vices and start over. And you never did. Things have not gotten better. They've gotten worse. You know, you set everything in motion. You said, I'm in a different country. I'm around a guy that I really love. Like, whole different environment. Away from natter. Away from all the temptations. You could have turned over a real new leaf. Never happened. So, if you have too much money, we know what you do with it. If you have too little money, you still continue the bad behavior. If you're left alone, you're not going to get any better. But yet, if you have somebody with you, you're going to get... what is your happy place? What's actually going to work here? Wherever you go, there you are. And your problems follow you. What would it take to make you happy and healthy? I know one thing you need: to surrender to the universe and say, I've got issues. I got problems. They're over my head. I can't do this on my own. That's the first step. And getting sick and tired of being sick and tired, and stop living in denial. You know, fooling yourself into thinking, I can handle this. I can do this. Things are not that bad right now. But they are that bad. I mean, if you have a medical event, that can make the whole house of cards come down. You do realize that, right? The whole thing can come crashing down in an instant.
Hi, Teardrop. Only God can judge. Exactly. That's what these people don't understand. I don't know. It's so disrespectful and so disgusting.
No, the way you've been behaving has been disrespectful. Coming on camera, cursing, smoking, swearing, committing gluttony when you know you shouldn't. Smoking cigarettes. Girl, what? You're disrespectful.
So I just wanted to say that, basically, show you the Qibla and talk to you guys for a bit. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, Sarah Jean. Yep, exactly. Yes, alhamdulillah. Okay, I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but it's like 8 a.m. here. So yeah. I mostly do Kyla, but this is like an entire community of Islamophobic people, just making a mockery entirely of the religion, especially during Ramadan. Are you serious? Get a life.
You know, Chantal is such a wrongdoer that she's always looking for new shields to put in front of herself to escape the consequences of her actions and of her words. I feel she uses her extreme weight as a shield so she can claim fat phobia or fat shaming. At the same time, she actively monetizes her size. She come on camera and talk about BED or her supposed struggles with BED when she's really not struggling. She's leaning into it and she's monetizing it. So now that she's in Kuwait, she put on the hijab and put on the abaya, and she's taken the shahada, and she's acting badly while being a Muslim woman. And anybody that criticizes her actions, she's trying to claim, oh, that's part of Islamophobia. It's not. We're criticizing you, not the Muslim people, not the Muslim faith. You, Chantal. It's all about you. We are reacting to what you're showing us. There's a difference here. But again, you're trying to use the Muslim faith as a shield when you shouldn't.
It's 8 a.m. here. Thanks, Crystal. I'll let him know. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, look at this victimhood. I'm okay. I'm okay, everybody. I'm okay. Victim Chantal, I'm okay. Psst. As if people are attacking her. They're just airing their thoughts, feelings, and opinions on Twitter and YouTube. But look at this victimhood here. I'm okay, y'all. I'm okay. I'm all right. It's stupid.
Really, Crystal? It's very peaceful. I know, like hearing the Quran recited, I know it does that. It gives you chills. Like there's a video of like a guy reciting a Quran around like a pasture of animals, and they all come to him. It's so weird.
Not really. I don't think it's weird. There's one video, I forget where I saw it, of a gentleman that I guess they were doing the call to prayer, and he was reciting it, and a cat came up and jumped up on his shoulder, and the man didn't react. He just kept doing the call to prayer, and it was a beautiful moment. Animals react to voices and sound and energy, and maybe the gentleman was putting out good energy and they were liking it. Not weird.
Kind of making a big deal how you cut your chicken, right? Like somebody who sleeps with a child predator or a sex offender makes fun of how I cut. Like, okay, I'll recreate it, no problem. You know what? I know I'm thirsty. I can't drink. I didn't even have to cut the chicken. Like, whenever you simmer a chicken for long enough, hi Ava, thank you. It falls apart. So I literally only had to tear it apart. Like, basically, it actually just fell off. Like the spine, everything just fell off, basically. And then I roasted it in the oven. It's
personal opinion, I think whatever chicken she used to make the stock and the chicken we saw in the pan were different chickens. I mean, because it didn't look the same. That's just my opinion, though.
Very common way of cooking. Like, again, people are just ignorant. Like, recreate it yourself. Simmer the chicken for long enough, it will come right off the bone. You don't have to cut it. Like, there's no, I know I can't with these people. I can't. It's food all going to the same place. Like, what's the conspiracy about? Like, I don't get it. Like, people are so bored, have no content. It's really embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed or what?
I know. You know, Chantal, keep talking. Keep talking, ma'am. Because by pointing a finger at us, you've got 3 more pointing back at you. You're saying you people have no content. So basically, what you're saying is, I'm boring. You have no content because I'm boring. You're basically saying that you're boring.
Oh, teardrop. It does that in the crock pot. Yeah, Crystal, but I don't have a crock pot. So I slow cook.
Why don't you? You know, Chantal, crock pots are not expensive and they're fantastic. If you are a lazy cook, no offense to anybody that has a crock pot, because crock pots are amazing. And you know what's even better? And I can vouch for this, the Instapot. The Instapot is a crock pot on steroids. You hear me? If you don't have an Instapot, go get one. It's got muscle. I'm telling you, it's impressive. Go get one, even a small one, or keep your crock pot and do as you will. But if you want to be like a lazy type of cook and you want to throw something into a pot and let it cook all day, and then after a few hours have a good meal, crock pot's the way to go. It's amazing. If you have a crock pot and you got an air fryer, you're good to go for everything. So she's making all kinds of good money. She can't afford a crock pot. She could just put some ingredients in a crock pot, let it simmer all day, and have a great meal. Nope, don't have a crock pot.
Cook in a big pot, you know?
Not the same thing, though. You put things in a crock pot, you won't have to worry about it. Ain't gonna boil over or nothing.
Ava, it's so stupid. I know, Krista. Hey, Krista. Hey, Pink Pony Club. Amy, hello. I'm honestly just so over this person, this trashman.
Talking about FFG.
Just coming for me and my religion and how I practice and every little thing I do, like to the point where, like, I swear, if somebody bought me a plane ticket today, I would go next week to Canada just to sue the crappy, stale.
Why does anybody have to buy you a plane ticket? Ma'am, you got football balls to say something like that. You really do. You're on YouTube making more money than most people. More money than people in your audience. More money than most of the reactors. Why does anybody have to buy you a plane ticket? You want to come home to Canada? Pay your own doggone plane ticket. Ain't nobody going to fork over $2,000 for 2 seats for you to come home. If you care enough about yourself and your health and your channel, you will fork down that money and shut up. The nerve of you. If somebody paid my plane ticket, you should pay your own plane ticket. All the money that you're saving, going to food banks and taking food from people that really need it when you don't need it. You're just a bit of a food hoarder. You're saving money on all that food, taking money from people that need the food. Buy your own plane ticket with that saved money. Don't sit there and tell the audience, well, if somebody bought me a plane ticket, stop. Buy your own. It's no one's responsibility to get you home. Truth be told, you shouldn't have gone over there to begin with. But you keep insisting on living there or trying to live there. You're basically squatting in Kuwait. You're on a tourist visa. You should not be living there. You should be back in Canada taking care of your health. That's what you should be doing. Now, don't worry about Salah, what's going on with him. He was fine before he met you. He'll be fine after you're gone. I'm sure he could find someone else to talk to in a hurry. You, not so much. Somebody buys you a plane ticket, please. You're going to get paid in another, 8 days? Get your own doggone plane ticket.
Leggings off of them. I would, 100%. I know.
I wouldn't trust anybody buying her a plane ticket anyway. Chantal's a scam artist. Even if somebody said, Chantal, I'll pay for a plane ticket for you. I'll give you a couple $1,000s to get a plane ticket home. Don't trust Chantal. She's a scammer. Remember all the way back in the day when, was it Vegan for Life? One of her subs paid Chantal a couple thousand. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Sent Chantal a couple hundred or more in super chats and said, here, I'm giving you money. Use this to take the cats to the vet. You know what Chantal said? She said, oh, you gave the money to me. I can use it for whatever I want. So if somebody gave Chantal a couple thousand for a plane ticket, she probably wouldn't use it for the plane ticket. She would pocket that money. So, let her do it. If she wants to come home, let her pay for it.
Uh-oh, Big Dot. That doesn't sound pleasant at all. Oh, no. I've been taking omeprazole, because I've been taking a lot of anti-inflammatories, which I haven't actually taken any today yet. Well, I can't really, I guess. But I'm in a bit of pain, but I took omeprazole last night and I don't know, it's so it feels so weird in my stomach. Yeah, it's kind of warm. I have the AC turned all the way down. It's for my stomach. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's no good for the hamster. Her being hot is one thing, but you guys got to stop and think about the pets in the house. Hamsters, like Harry, they can't get too cold. If they are in an environment that's too cold, they can enter a state called torpor, which is like hibernation, and that can be rather dangerous for a hamster. Likewise, a cat can't withstand temperatures beyond, I believe it's 50 degrees or 30 degrees. Let me go check real quick. Let me look. I want to be factual on this. Coldest temperature for a cat. On average, many veterinary professionals agree that when the temperature hits the freezing mark of 32 degrees, it's too cold for a domesticated indoor cat. Most, however, suggest that even 45 degrees is too cold for a cat to be outside and recommend keeping them in. So, yeah, 30 degrees, not good. So I don't know exactly where her thermometer is, but if she keeps turning it down, turning it down, turning it down because she's too hot, she may be comfortable, but it might put her pets at risk for sickness or death.
Like to protect my stomach from like, you know, taking anti-inflammatory. I have to like cut down on them actually. So I don't know. Vanessa with the emojis. I'm afraid like to always have something in my teeth, but I know I don't. I brush them. The beach looks incredibly beautiful. Yeah, it really is. But I'm like nervous because the summer's coming. And I always forget how, like, see, if I don't wear an undercap under my hijab, it like slips down all the time.
She wanted to slip down. She's hiding her forehead.
Oh, it's so annoying. If it weren't so hot, yeah, it's very, very hot. Like,
Chantal, you come from Canada and you decided to move to a place that has desert climate. We went through this last year. Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. It's so hot. We went through this before. How can you keep complaining about the same issue that keeps coming up? If you don't like how hot it is, if you're too uncomfortable, go home to Canada. You'll be much more comfortable there.
more than you can imagine.
And another thing, the fact that it's too hot outside is going to be the perfect excuse for Chantal to stay indoors. She's going to tell her subs, oh, you guys don't understand. It's so hot outside. And that's the reason why she can't walk and she can't exercise. Although I have said, if she wanted to, she could get a treadmill, not a cheap one. I forgot that treadmills do have a weight limit. Spend about $1,000 or close to it. Get a treadmill. Have it put in her apartment. She could walk on it whenever she wanted without worrying about the heat. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. She could still get her walks in if it gets too hot outside.
My mouth is dry. I don't know how people like go to work and school and focus like fasting like this. I don't know. It's crazy. You know. What bothers me is how often they repeat the same stuff. Yeah, like talk about beating a dead horse over and over and over.
So Just State says, what bothers me is how talk about the reaction channels. They repeat the same stuff. Well, why do we do that? Why do we talk about the same stuff? Could it be because Chantal talks about the same stuff over and over? Maybe that's it. We talk about different stuff when she talks about different stuff. We remark on different stuff when she shows us different stuff. Remember Thailand? We were very happy for going to Thailand. It was something different. Her getting out and having adventures. It gave us something different to talk about. But if she's sitting in the same environment, doing the same mukbangs, talking about the same stories from her past, yeah, it might get a bit monotonous because she is like a broken record. So when you criticize the reaction channels, you're really criticizing yourself, Chantal, for being boring.
Like that just proves to you that they need my crappy content.
We don't need it. We don't need it. And I'm going to say something else, Chantal, and you're not going to like it. Look, I don't know if you have reached a place where you don't know what else to do. I don't know if you've reached that place where you've lost your fire. Or maybe you've gotten lazy. You've built up your channel enough that you know if you do a video, any video, you're going to get X number of views, which is going to lead to X amount as far as your income. You've reached that place where you know you can get away with not doing much. I don't know if that's the problem. Or if you're deliberately tanking your channel. Maybe it's a combination of both. But here's something to be aware of. Something that maybe you've taken notice of in the reaction community. A lot of people who are reactors, they have started to cover different people. At the same time, they're covering you. They're introducing different people. Why is that? Because you're not interesting enough. Because there's not enough going on. And they want to be very active on their channels. So considering the direction that you're taking with your channel and how boring you are and how you're not doing anything different, there's nothing spicy, there's nothing interesting, they have to go where the interest is. And this is bad for you. You have no idea how bad this is for you because different people are being introduced to different people. I feel that's also a fail-safe in case something does happen to you. Because if something medical happens to you and you can no longer do content or you're not around to do content, channel's got to carry on. So introducing different people now is kind of a fail-safe for that. But if someone is found that's as interesting as you, or the audience is responding positively to other people, that kind of pushes you further to the back. Do you understand? It's weird. You want the spotlight solely upon you, and yet you're doing everything in the world to make your channel so boring, to make yourself so boring that the reactors are saying, and this is too boring. What am I covering here? And they're moving on to other people, which takes away from the attention that you would normally get. And I thought you wanted all of the spotlight, Chantal, but you're almost passing the torch to other people and saying, I don't want it anymore. At the same time you do. I mean, you got to pick a lane. Do you want all of the spotlight, or are you tired of all the spotlight and you're saying, here, you carry the torch. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I've got nothing. You take it from me. You get mad at the reactors for talking about you, and you're saying that we're boring. We talk about you. That's because you're boring. But a lot of reactors are starting to talk about other people. More and more are doing it because you're insisting on not doing anything of interest. You're in Kuwait. Sorry, the Kuwait arc is boring. People are bored with it. There's nothing new here. There's nothing interesting. And yet you won't go back home and turn things around for yourself personally or for your channel. So have you noticed that the reactors are covering different people? That's why. People are tired of you. And you're not doing anything to save yourself. Moron.
Content. If I have no content, then what do you have? Your content is literally picking at how I cut my chicken or how I'm praying in the wrong direction when that's not.
You want us to talk about something interesting, then do something interesting. People want to keep up with your story. But you're making your story so boring that it's like, why even bother? I've skipped some of your videos, Chantal, because I'm like, what am I talking about here? I can't make content out of this. I can't. You are making yourself incredibly boring for what reason I do not know, because you are surviving off of the views, and yet you're not doing the most to get the most views. It's weird.
Not even true. So you're literally inventing lies just to keep your hate-hungry audience eating something because they have nothing, zilch, no life. And these are adults. Or imagine just beating today. Imagine what kind of mother is raising a child fat-shaming another woman on the internet. You can see rolls in your abaya. And what's your point? I'm fat. Does it look like I care? What kind of person like just sits there and body shames somebody for content? Bye, runaway Howie. Thank you. Yes, yes. I was so worried about him. Oh, but he's okay. Thank you, Teardrop. They want to get you going. Well, yeah, fine. I'll speak out about their lies and their hypocrisy and their Islamophobia then.
So she's basically self-confessing that she purposely does things to get the reactors talking so that she, in turn, can react to it. So she herself, she's a reactor. She just basically puts things out there in an effort to get us to talk about her so that she has something to talk about on her stream. Essentially, she's using us as for content.
Actually, other him stuff when he comes over, Crystal. That's okay. I mean, you don't know, you forget. Not to even drink in front of him. I think that's the hardest part is like the no water thing. For sure. But alhamdulillah, it's possible. It's not like horrible, It's not like it's like 24 hours, It's just from sunrise to sundown, whatever. You can like super chats. Hi, Suman. Doesn't chicken kind of fall apart in the same places when it's cooked? How they were both legs were even. It's not like I up close. Like next time I'll up close the skin to show you the skin placement. In some places it was curled up a little bit.
If you're in an aggravated state of mind, it's not a good idea to come online and do a live chat. Never do videos or live chats when you're mad, because the camera misses nothing and it's going to translate to the audience and it's not going to be good. She's so aggravated.
You just can't swallow the water, Gracie, but you can brush your teeth. Yeah. Yeah, like you can brush your teeth and rinse, but just don't swallow water.
And again, she's got diabetes. She's taking medication. She doesn't have to do Ramadan. She is exempt from Ramadan.
So sometimes if my mouth gets really dry, I just put a bit of water and spit. So,
just because she is exempt from, say, abstaining from eating or drinking, if Chantal wanted to, she can still do that at the same time. She could do other things like read the Quran or pray or do acts of charity. There's other things she could do if she wanted to.
It's sad that I guess I didn't have to do this, but yes, I did. Because if you're going to lie about me and how my religion, like, too bad for you. I would never make it through Ramadan. You would be exempt Teardrop because you have, illnesses and stuff. And I do too. Technically, I don't have to fast. Like, if I ever feel very, very unwell or if I needed to, then I would, yeah. But that's between me and Allah. I'm not going to talk about it on live and I'm not going to announce it publicly, but so far so good. Alhamdulillah. Some weird conspiracies because she has no brain. This is not just shaming her, it's legit. She has very low intelligence to be able to not realize certain things. People who are intelligent and have a life, they don't sit there and discuss dumb, weird, petty things and pick apart the life of somebody else. And
anybody want to tell her? That's exactly what she does.
Make up lies and attack religions and discuss religions during Ramadan, how a Muslim's worshiping when you're not even Muslim, or comparing a Muslim to another person. I saw another lowlife do that, comparing, we're going to compare her, how she does her vlogs and worships and all this other stuff, how she does her vlogs during Ramadan. Look, the point of Ramadan is not to be fancy and how many fancy abayas you can afford to wear. Maybe that person has more money than us. What are you doing? Shaming someone's finances now? Maybe that person has a different lifestyle. I'm not all about that. I don't care. I'm not going to waste all my money on trinkets when I can give it to the poor, what the spirit of Ramadan is about.
Well, you're not going to spend all your money on trinkets, right? But how much money do you spend in takeout per day? So trinkets is a no-no, but takeout is fine. Even though you're hurting your body with all that takeout, that's perfectly fine. You can justify that because you're a YouTuber and food is your content, so you can justify the food when really you shouldn't be justifying the food. Trinkets bad. Fast food okay.
Out. It's about zakat and donating and praying. It's not about.
You know, Chantal, call me weird, but I would think that acts of charity do not include going to a food bank and taking food from a food bank from those that actually need it. When you're making tons of money, you can go to a regular store and buy the food. That's not acts of charity. That's the reverse. In a way, you're stealing from the poor, which
How many fancy decorations you can put in your apartment. Like, people who know nothing have the most to say. Crystal, the water's bad there in Mexico. Hi, Backwoods, babe.
Uh-oh. So Courtney says, I hope the best for you, but I just watched the Mr. Snowflake documentary. Maybe sick to my stomach, Chantal. Well, you know what, Courtney? Mr. Snowflake is just getting started. There's like, what, 5 or 6 episodes in the docuseries? And Mr. Snowflake has said the first one is a bit more tame. The ones after that are going to be much more extreme, I imagine. So, if you didn't like the first docu-series episode, you're going to be shocked, I'm sure, with the other ones. And maybe that's another reason why Chantal is feeling irritated. The fact that every time somebody does a documentary or a docu-series on her, all of that dirt that she has worked so hard to sweep under a rug comes back up again. And all of the new VIBs and the new subs that don't know about the old dirt, they get to find out. And that makes her angry. That she can just rewrite history and rewrite her past. It keeps popping back up. So, you think the first episode was shocking, Courtney? Wait. Just wait. If you're a new sub, there's a lot of stuff you don't know. But if you want to find out, little helpful hint. There's all kinds of archive channels, reaction channels. We got all the dirt. We got all the tea. We got all the receipts. All this stuff that Chantal has deleted off her channel. There's a lot of great archive channels out there. You've got Malarkey Meter. You've got Meandering Thoughts. You've got Piggy. There's so many. There's so many. You don't even know. Start watching those channels. You'll be shocked of the things you're going to find out.
Yeah. I never knew anything about Ramadan until this channel, but it's interesting to learn. Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, I'm trying my best. Like, I mean, that's great, Eva, but I'm new to this too. Like, you know, like, I know it's like my second year, but still, like, compared to somebody who was born and raised and taught Islam in school, like, I was raised Catholic, you know?
Chantal, you have been in Kuwait for over a year. Over a year. And you know very little. By now, you should be able to make conversational Arabic and just speak simple phrases. You don't know how. You don't have a circle of friends there. You're very secluded. All right. You're living the exact same life in Kuwait as you did in Canada, only without the sangria Kia. Same life. Still going crazy with the food. Your life is the same.
So
you moved to another country to do the same things you did in Canada. Make it make sense.
I took like catechism, I took Catholicism, like I could tell you a lot about that. Not actually, probably not that much. I always found like when I was a kid, I found that those classes to be a snooze. I'm not gonna lie. The spirit of Ramadan isn't talking about others. Exactly. Exactly. There you go. Anyways. Oh, and Courtney, about Mr. Cardigan, I don't care. Like, he's a liar. He's just a glorified hater, and
No, he's not a hater. Anybody that has criticisms for Chantal is a hater. Miss, I don't care what other people have to say. She's the biggest marshmallow there is. She's so soft. She can't take any criticism, no matter how nice it is. If it's criticism, you're a hater. Mr. Snowflake was going to release episode 1, and before he released it, she lost her mind. And she was claiming, oh, it's going to be about this, this, and this. And she went off on Mr. Snowflake. And he's like, oh, well, since you're showing me this side of you, I guess I might change it. And I don't know if he did, but he put out his documentary. She didn't like it. She didn't like it one bit. But the majority of what you see in those documentaries and docuseries, it's Chantal herself. It's her own words coming back to bite her in her butt. It's not even the person talking and giving their opinions. Why do that? When you can let the subject reveal themselves. That's the beautiful part about her being online for as long as she has. She's recorded everything. And there's a lot of people that have all the footage. It's like, he's a liar. Well, it's kind of hard to dispute when somebody is showing your own footage that you taped yourself.
Gonna relive something about the past, go for it. Another one who has no content unless he's beating on the same fat women on the internet, beating down the same women, or trying to make.
Showing somebody's personality is not beating them down, Chantal. Now, I hate this victimhood you got going on right now. I really do. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. Everybody's beating up on me. Everybody's picking on me. Nanny, nanny, boo-boo. You know what? All this harm that you claim other people are doing to you, do you know who's doing the most harm to you? Yourself. You are hurting yourself far more and faster than any reactor who talks about you. Every single time you sit down and you do a mukbang, you're hurting yourself. You're in really bad health, and you know that. You're supposed to be on 3 different medications. You have trouble breathing, trouble walking, etc., etc. And yet, every single time you do a mukbang, you're looking at life and you're flipping the middle finger and saying, I don't care. I don't care about life. I want to flirt with death for a minute. You hurt yourself. How can you be a victim at the same time you hurt yourself? The people that are criticizing your behavior, believe it or not, the people that are criticizing you, the people who are the reactors, in a weird way, they care more about you than the people that are in your chat, enabling you, funding you, the ones that know about your issues, and they give you money knowing exactly where that money's going to go. You're a detestable person, Chantal. You're evil. You are. You're evil to the core. But here's the situation. You're an addict. Straight up, you're an addict. And if you know someone who's an addict and they're cool with you, it usually means you're doing something to enable what's going on. But if you know someone who's an addict and you're fighting with them, it's because you're probably doing something to save their life. And the people who are criticizing you, they're pointing out this bad behavior. And they're saying, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you shouldn't be eating this food. Believe it or not, they're bringing it to your attention. So you can look at it and think, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't be eating this way. Maybe I should get myself an inpatient. Maybe I should go and get some therapy. Maybe I should learn some coping mechanisms because food ain't it. You know, you're surrounded by enablers in your chat. I'm sure there are people that care, but at the same time, they're stupid whenever they talk about food with you because they know you got an issue with food. Why would you do that with a food addict? That's wrong. You know, like someone who's an addict of something, you stay away from talking about whatever it is they're addicted to. Talking about the source of their addiction with them while they're active and doing it, wrong behavior. But that's what you got around you. Those are the people that you feel are your friends. Now, I can see a lot of good that they're doing you.
Documentaries on us, like, please, people need to get off their high horses and stop being self-righteous. Like, it's just insane. Hey, Vegas doll. Really? Another cloud chaser inside your drop.
He's a cloud chaser. What clout is he chasing from Chantal? I ask you. What clout can be gotten from talking about Chantal? There's no clout here to be gotten.
Exactly. But people are hungry for drama, like super hungry for drama. That's all people want. Is to see others miserable for drama. What does that you know?
No, Chantal, we're just pointing out how problematic you are, how selfish you are, how self-centered you are. That's what we're doing. We're just pointing out what an awful person you are.
Whatever, backwards, babe. I'm not saying anything mean about anybody, so I'm gonna block you. Goodbye. Like another virtue signaler. I'm allowed to defend myself and Islam and talk about certain things if I want to. Did I insult any of these people? Yeah, they're ignorant and they look dumb when they say things that are not true. Islam is like Christianity. The only difference is Islam has Muhammad peace be upon him. It's very buckling. Ew, Grandma, I don't see it. You rang. I could do the not eating, but the not drinking. It is hard, yeah. In all honesty, we have all done things in our past. It doesn't define who we are now. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Ava. You have every right to defend yourself. Yeah.
You know, this picture that Chantal tries to paint of past, I'm a different person now. Are you? Because you're doing a lot of the same things now that you did then. Hence the reason why it's still relevant. When you were at the villa, you were eating copious amounts of fast food, hurting your health, having bee moments. You were ragey. You were under the influence of things, going after people, being a bully, intimidating your chat. All of that stuff is still going on today. It's not like we can look at you now and say, oh, yeah, you are a different person. You're not behaving or presenting yourself the way you once did. You're a different person now, Chantal. You have changed. But the point is, you haven't. You put on different clothing, but the person underneath is still exactly the same, if not worse.
I mean, I'm not doing it in a super hateful way, lowering myself to their level anymore, you know? No, Grandma. Don't get excited. That is true. Not very nice to bring up people's past and shame them for it. Exactly.
And another relevant point, Chantal lives in the past. She does. She lives in the past. She's constantly bringing up things from her past, talking about stories from her past. And oh, when she was 16 and this happened. She doesn't live in the present. And again, that's why talking about her past is relevant, because she hasn't progressed beyond the past at all.
So Why do they react to people who are suffering from issues? That's disgusting. Because they're ableist and they think that they're funny. Like they do it for money. Like imagine doing something so immoral just to fatten your pockets. Like, do you know how much karma you're going to get returned to you? Like, people think they see people like a good life right now and they think that, oh, they're getting, you know, richer, they're just getting more prosperous. And it's like, yeah, that's all gonna that's all going to tumble down on you because of the way you earn.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's put the brakes on. Chantal, what is wrong with you? Do you think the reactors are getting rich off of you? We're not. You should know by now. YouTube takes their 30%, and if you're a small channel, you're not making much. Okay? You're not. I don't know where you got it in your head that you're thinking that all the reaction channels that we're getting rich off of you. I'm not. I know a lot of people that are not, but we do it anyway just because we're keeping up with the story so that other people who want to keep up with your story, they don't have to go to you directly. We just do this for fun. Okay? Not because we're like bankrolling. Where did this idea from her come from? Oh, they're all getting rich off of me and I'm paying their rent. Huh? What? No, you're not.
Your money because of the way you live your life. 100%. You know? Eat your chicken how you want it. Imagine if we judged everyone by their past, we'd all hate each other.
And this person's comment, is it Thrillho? Saying, why do they react to people who are suffering from issues? That's disgusting. I would like to step up to the podium and address that. So Chantal's suffering from issues, is she? Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. She's suffering, but at the same time, she doesn't want to address that suffering and heal that suffering. Do you understand me? She doesn't want to heal herself. She doesn't want to heal any of her hurts. She is not interested in treatment and getting on the other side of anything painful in her life. What she's interested in is monetizing every ounce of pain that she feels. And if that's not enough, not only does she want to monetize whatever pain she's in, what she does is that she pulls from other people's lives and experiences and talks about their pain and makes it her own. So her own pain isn't enough. No, she's going to look around her. Her grandmother's had sciatica. Suddenly she's got sciatica. She worked at a battered women's shelter. Suddenly she comes online talking about content of, oh, I went through DV and I went through SA. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's like, she is a boring person who hasn't had a layered or interesting life. She's not really gone through hardships. So in order to make herself seem relatable, where a lot of people have gone through hardships, a lot of people have gone through hard times, she's trying to make herself seem more human and relatable. So suddenly she's gone through hard times. She's been through some trauma. She's been through some pain. Putting all that out there in an effort to bond people to her. Her coming online and oversharing, it's for a reason. That's manipulative. Because by oversharing and making herself seem like she's gone through a lot, she's pulling people closer to her. She's looking for people in her audience that have been through actual painful experiences. And they feel, oh, Chantal's been through this and I've been through this. So there's a common ground. There's understanding. Like I can relate to her and she can relate to me and I want to be a sub to her. Do you understand? It's manipulative. By making herself into the walking wounded with several different issues, her food issues, oh, sciatica, oh, I've been through depression, BED, I've been through SA, I've been through DV, blah, blah, blah. She's gathering issues to bring to her content, like, and each one of them might bring in people in her audience that have been through something similar or have experienced something similar as a way to collect people to her that have gone through stuff, or they might be broken. She's looking for broken people or people that have been through a lot. And she wants to make those people her audience members in an effort to manipulate them. Broken people are easy to manipulate. They're vulnerable. And she knows that. That's why she does what she does.
Each other. Exactly. Exactly.
So she's not suffering from issues. And if she is suffering from issues, it's issues that she is not bothering to treat. She's going to let the pain continue. Because let's imagine for a minute, y'all. Let's stop and think for just a second. What if Chantal were to heal herself? What if she were to go on a true health journey and lose, let's just say 250 pounds, which would make her a lot healthier? What if she got on top of her diabetes? What if she went to therapy and psychotherapy and got a lot of her inside issues worked out? What if she stopped doing the mukbangs? What would there be left to talk about? If you took away the food, if you took away the drama and the rages, what would there be to discuss about Chantal? She's not showing us anything else. There's no hobbies. There's no interest. You take away the negative layers, what's left? Nada. I think even she knows that. That's why she doesn't want to heal herself, because if you take away the negativity, she's a boring onion. There's nothing there. There's no layers. It's just like one layer. She doesn't want to make herself interesting in different ways. So she sticks with the negative layers and she won't let go of them.
Hi, Vanna. But that's a blatant lie. I wasn't praying in the wrong direction. That's mostly what I wanted to prove. I do have an app. How do you guys even know I have, before accusing me if I don't have an app or not? How, like, you don't know anything. You don't know ish. You don't know anything at all, especially about the religion. You Google things to find out. Like, get a life.
Let's look beyond all of this, y'all. She's not really mad about people saying she's praying in the wrong direction. Let's take a step back and look at it. She's mad at something else. This is misdirected anger. Is she mad at Salah? Did he do something? Did he say something? Is he not giving her attention? That's what it's really about. She's not getting the attention she wants. And whenever she doesn't get the attention she wants, she uses people on the internet as punching bags because they can't punch back.
Please. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Courtney. My CPAP? Yeah, no, I just have rosacea. Pretty bad. It's like it's semi-dry and rosacea. No makeup. Yeah, like, you know, it's so ridiculous. And these are like adults. These are adults.
And I want to address Teardrop's comment, her mod, saying these so-called reactors don't know crap about anything but bullying people online. Teardrop, are you new? There's a lot of us that are reactors. We've been watching Chantal for years. At one point did you come in? You're just walking into class. There are those of us who have been watching Chantal for a long time. We're very familiar with her. I don't know how much you know about her, when exactly you came in, if you're one of her old mods under a new name. But giving an opinion on the content that somebody posts is not bullying. We're just on our channels doing our thing. Unfortunately, your queen cannot stay in her own backyard. She's constantly wandering about on Twitter, on YouTube, on TikTok, on people's community posts, in their chat rooms lurking. She can't stay in her own yard. And she makes herself aggravated. So who is the bully exactly? She makes the content. We react to it. We're not in her chat bothering her. You know that because you're a mod. So if she wants to put out this narrative that we are bullying her, not true. Not true. But we don't know crap, right, Teardrop? We don't know anything, even though we've been around a lot longer than you. And we got all the receipts? Okay.
Like, why don't you act your age? Grow up. Like, what are you doing with your time, with your life? It's so sad. Exactly. That's all they know how to do is bully other people. Yeah. For entertainment. They think, oh, it's just fun. It's entertainment. No, someone's religion is not entertainment. Somebody's weight or their body shape is not entertainment. Like, get a life. Like,
Chantal, you have nothing to say about that. Ma'am, you got to pick a lane. On one side of the street, you complain about fat shaming, fat phobia. They shouldn't talk about the shape of my body, blah, blah, blah. On the other side of the street, you lean into your issue with food. You totally lean into it. You get online, you do your mukbangs, you're catering to a certain subset of people in your audience, and you know it. On top of that, you put tags on your videos attracting those people. Tags like fat woman eating a meal or fat woman in Kuwait. You also mix that in with tags talking about BED recovery, BED struggles. Like you're attracting, you're trying to pull in different audiences, get yourself into different algorithms. You need to pick a lane. You might be affecting other people's recovery by doing that. Might be triggering them. But on one side of the street, you want to claim fat shaming, fat phobia. At the same time, you're exploiting your size and exploiting your issue with food and looking for people that are attracted to those that eat copious amounts of food. You're exploiting your own bad health, your failing health. You're exploiting the fact that you're getting bigger, even though I'm sure it's quite uncomfortable. It's quite painful. You are working to make the situation worse. So yeah, we're going to comment on it because it's not the thing you do when you're unhealthy.
Are you perfect? Is your body shape perfect? Are you, like, I don't know. It's just, hi, Kelly. You get eczema on your face? Oh, no. It is kind of dark, yeah. The curtains block out a lot of the sun. Does the CPAP cause rosacea? Study. Hi, Shannon. What the fuck? No, I do not.
And here's proof that these people that are in her chat, they don't even see what the reaction channels say. Vanessa says, no, I do not like reaction channels. No helpful, and without even look at them. That's why I do not like reaction channels. So Vanessa, you are confessing yourself right here. You don't watch the reaction channels. You don't listen to what we have to say, but you've decided that you don't like us, which is, you're free to do that. But you're not even listening to what we have to say to determine if what we're saying is wrong or right. You're just on the side of Chantal. Well, you can support whoever you want, but you're basically confessing, I don't know what they're saying over there, but I don't like them. Okay. You're not, we might be right about some things though. I'm just saying.
I like reaction channels, no helpful. Without even looking at them. That's why I do not.
And by the way, Vanessa, a lot of people that are reactors, we say all the time, I have said, other people have said, she needs inpatient. She needs to be in an inpatient facility. She needs to go to therapy. She needs to find some different coping mechanisms and coping skills because food is her go-to for everything. And it's not a cure-all medicine for everything. A lot of people have said that. Go to therapy, get some coping mechanisms, coping skills, talk to somebody. She don't want to hear it. She's not ready. But we're supposed to be hateful people, right? Even though we're suggesting something that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah, these people, like, how are you going to judge how I look praying? That's so disgusting to make fun of somebody like in.
I'm going to be honest with you, Chantal. You praying, it felt very exploitative. I would think that the time of prayer, it's a really personal, private moment. And the way you went about it, the way you did it, it felt very exploitative. You should have kept that off camera, in my opinion. You know, like, if praying is supposed to be between you and Allah, why not keep it between you and Allah and turn the camera off? Just pray in private. The way you went about it made it feel bad. You know, like this, it did not feel good. The time of prayers should be a private thing. That's just how I feel.
Sujood position when you don't even have a camera and don't show yourself. Are you serious? Like,
I'm showing myself.
my mind is like blown. I can't. I don't know how YouTube platforms these people, but I continue every day to report them. Hopefully.
Go ahead. Obviously, we're not doing anything wrong, because if you're reporting people and nothing has happened, that means we're not breaking TOS, ma'am. Although you have, doing the sub for sub thing to get reached to 100K.
Inshallah, they will do something about it. And I'm honestly like so close to just getting on a plane and going to sue the crap out of you know who. Like, I'm serious. I'm done.
Do it.
I see all these you call them lawsuits, but no, there's a lot of online harassment and defamation and making fun of.
Chantal, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Do you realize how much you're embarrassing yourself right now? You're all talk and we know it. How many times with how many people have you threatened lawsuits? You threatened to sue FFG before. You threatened to take her to court before. You're like, oh, when I come home to Canada, I'm going straight to the cops. What happened? Nothing. I'm going to sue her. What happened? Nothing. You threatened to sue Natter. Did that happen? No. You know, you're all talk and we know it. And what would you say about FFG in a court of law? Your Honor, she picked on me. She said awful things about me on the internet. She stole my cat. She stole your cat? Yes, sir, she stole my cat. FFG would step up to the plate and go, oh, no, I didn't. And I can prove it. She made a video giving the cat away. And the next day I took the cat to the vet, and the vet could verify on paper that BBJ was neglected. And here's how, and here's why, and here's the bill that I paid. That case would get thrown out in less than an hour if she ever followed through. Chantal, you don't have a case. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
People, if Hussey could win a case.
You know, and didn't she say a few minutes ago? She did say, I remember. She said, if somebody paid for a plane ticket, I would go home to Canada right now. Girl, if you can't even afford a plane ticket, you can't afford a court case. Because lawyers do cost money. If you're broke, and you can't afford a lawyer or an attorney, forget it. Ain't happening. If you're watching your money, the last thing you want to do is take things to court. Have to pay court costs.
Case against DC when she did way less than you know who. Fake big potato does every single.
So what's the plan, Chantal? Is the new money-making scheme is you're thinking about taking FFG to court, trying to get some money from FFG? You want some of that FFG money? Ma'am, that's going to backfire if you try. If you're thinking of trying to get money out of FFG that way, you might not want to go there. Because the whole subject of you neglecting your cat is going to come up. And those vet bills, too, are going to come up. I wouldn't if I were you.
Single day for years. What do you think I would be awarded? Like, seriously, I'm like fed up. I want to shut her up for good. I'm not kidding. So, yeah.
You do realize, though, that if you got a cease and desist or something like that, where FFG could not talk about you any longer. You couldn't talk about her any longer either. And I'm sure FFG could talk about other people. Like, she's been talking about other people on her channel and doing different content. She can move on from you. But can you move on from talking about Frenchie is the bigger question.
So yeah, I don't know, but I'm seriously like this close to doing it. I'm this close to getting off of here and booking a flight.
Go ahead. Yeah, but you ain't got the money for a flight. You said if somebody bought me a plane ticket, buy your own doggone plane ticket. Payday's coming. Spend $2,000. Come home. If you had more than 2 brain cells left in your head, Chantal, if there's anything in your head of anything that looks like intelligence, you will look at Salah and say, look, bro, it's been a year. There's nothing going on here. It's not working on any level for either one of us. I'm going home. Please find Julia a nice home and Harry. I'm packing my stuff and I'm going. And you will go back to Canada and forget this whole thing in Kuwait. It's not who you are. You're not happy. You are miserable. You're making yourself more unhealthy. You need to get yourself together, and you can't do that in Kuwait. If there's anything that looks like smarts in your head, those 2 brain cells that still work, they will look at each other and have a meeting and say, we got to fix this. This is too much. You know, stop letting your pride get in the way of you doing what you need to do to fix yourself.
Yesterday, I come home with a Lamington and hot chocolate, and I thought, thank goodness I don't have all the food police like you do, Kelly. And that's the thing. These people are obese themselves. Okay.
I'm not obese. Y'all can see me. Do I look obese? And even if I were, though, even if there are reactors that are a little bit on the heavy side, she's super morbidly obese. So how can she sit there and yell and scream about fat shaming and fat phobia at the same time using weight as an insult? Does that work? I don't think that works. I don't think a woman who is super morbidly obese can turn around and yell fat phobia and fat shaming and then call other reactors fat. It doesn't work. And why is my computer making that noise? I'm putting the thing over here. But you guys can see me. I'm on camera. I'm not obese.
Okay, and they don't show themselves. So of course they can say, oh, I had pineapple only for dinner. Of course people are going to believe that, right? Because they don't show themselves, you know?
And the only reason you want us to show ourselves, Chantal, is you want to see us on camera to have something nasty to say. You want to criticize what we look like or our weight or the environment or something. You want to have some gotcha moments. So you feel that by us getting on camera, you can get a few. I'm showing myself on camera. Say what you will about me. Don't care.
That I don't care if people, whatever. Call me fat, whatever. I don't care. That says more about you than it does about me. It always will. That's whatever.
But Chantal, you just got through saying like they're obese too. You're trying to use weight as an insult. At the same time, you're saying, "Oh, they shame me for my girl. Pick a lane."
You know. Teardrop. Yeah, no, it's okay. I have the money to do it.
No, you don't.
I can do it.
Then buy your own plane ticket.
Hi, Yusuf.
And this is pathetic. Teardrop says, if I had the money, I would instantly buy you a ticket to sue that trash can. But you as a mod, Teardrop, why would you have to buy her a plane ticket? Chantal's the content creator. If she cares enough, she'll buy her own doggone plane ticket. How shameless would Chantal be to have one of her mods, who probably makes far less than she does, buy her a plane ticket when she could buy her own.
Lawsuit bees. Howie is good. I mean, I don't want him running around. I don't like him like out and not knowing where he is, you know? People are always like, buy him a bigger cage. This is literally the biggest cage at Pet Zone. The biggest one. Like, look it up online if you want. There's like, if you see them in person, like online, you can see, no, this is the biggest one that we found at the store. So, yeah, really thrill, right? The spy, yeah. Imagine living your life just to spite somebody. Like, what kind of life do you have? And you have the nerve to judge someone else who's actually living their own life and making their own content. Even if you think it's bad content, that's all your content is picking apart my bad content. How boring and mundane are you then, you know?
You're criticizing your own stuff by saying that.
Oh. Yeah, Julia's sleeping. Yeah, teardrop. She needs to be put in her place for sure.
You know, if Chantal wants to put people in their place, she doesn't have to go anywhere. She can do it via her phone, through YouTube. So she wants to put people in their place, does she? Okay, then. Sit down and do a real reaction, Chantal. Go ahead. We're waiting. Didn't you tell your VIBs you were going to start doing reactions to reactors? We're waiting on that. Go ahead. You know you suck at it, but entertain us, will you? You know you suck at reacting, but if you want to put us in our place, wouldn't that be a good way to do it? It would require no money. It doesn't require a plane ticket. You want to tell us all about ourselves? Go for it. We're here. We're waiting.
She's like criminal. She's disgusting. You know, like, and I saw a tweet like of her like being like, we like attacking Americans. Like, we don't think of lawsuits right away. Yeah, well, your 8 landlords did when they took you to court for your non-paid rent.
You know, Chantal, when you try to bag on somebody talking like that, what you're doing is you're bagging harder on yourself. You have the nerve to go after somebody for back rent at the same time you've got 2 bankruptcies on your record. 2. 1 is still active. 2, though. You being on YouTube for 8 years? All of your debts should have been erased. All of them. You shouldn't have any debt. The money that you've been making on YouTube, they should be all gone. All of it. Yet the Sangria Kia wasn't all the way paid off. It's run ragged. It needs a lot of repair work. You got active bankruptcies. You're hurting for money. It's a whole ridiculous situation. Somebody being behind in their rent is not the same as somebody who owes like $60,000, $70,000 in back taxes. Ma'am.
They even bag us for sticking with you. Yeah, of course they're going to. They try to take any support system I have away. And
why do you need a support system? Don't you mean enabling? You're looking for enablers? You're looking for enablers. You're looking for something beyond emotional support. You want people that enable you in some form or another to keep the toxic behavior going, to keep the toxic lifestyle going. You don't want to burst that bubble. You want to keep it intact. And anybody who cares about Chantal, that's what she wants. She wants enablers. It's not enough that you come in and you say nice words to her. She's looking for those people that will financially fund her habits in one way or another, either through views or super chats or memberships. And you guys see where the money's going. It's not going to making her health better. It's going to making it worse. Chantal is an active addict. She's a food addict. And I know that may seem out of the norm, but she's still an addict looking to feed her addictions. And food is one of them. And that problem with food is hurting her. And if you're funding that, you're part of the problem. If you're enabling that, you're part of the problem. And as long as she has that safety net of enablers and financial supporters, she will never hit the ground hard, which is honestly what she needs. She's got to reach that place where she has nowhere else to go. Chantal has always been a person that she doesn't change unless she absolutely has to. And there is no other way to wiggle out of it. So as long as she's got this system of enabling and supporting going where she can get her addictions fed, she's going to get them fed. And she's going to continue to decline.
And then they have the nerve to say that anyone else is narcissistic. Like, I can't. Or this like complete, speaking of narc, have you heard about this like narc channel, like going after Amber Lynn? She's like an older woman, like trying to be DC media. And she just thinks she knows everything. She picks apart everything about Amber Lynn, like everything. She goes after her weight loss doctor. She's insane. Like these people are insane. You're the only narc here, okay? You abuse somebody online and then you deflect. That's exactly, you deflect and blame them for your stalking and your harassment. And that's exactly what narcs do. So congratulations.
Chantal, you're a big time narcissist.
The sciatic pain is still off and on.
Oh God, back to that again.
You don't have to be there. You can appear virtually and an attorney files everything on your behalf. Really? Yeah, I heard that too. But yeah, I don't know. Like the lawyer I talked to said I would have to appear for court dates. But if I don't have to, that would be good. Yeah, he's back though. How he escaped and
So she's talking all tough and she's like, well, I'm not going to do it because I would have to show up for court dates. She's not going to do it because she knows there's the archive. Frenchie has the archive of everything. She keeps all the receipts, including all the vet bills. Chantal would never win. She just likes to put on this act of being all tough, you know, talking all gruff and stuff. She never follows through with her threats, ever.
he's back. Yeah, I don't have Dove. I'm not doing that. I'm not making an aquarium and everything. I'm never getting another hamster ever again. No offense. Like I said in my video, I don't have the means or the time or the energy. Like I have sciatica pain every day. I'm not making him a friggin' terrarium, wall-sized terrarium. No offense. No. Sorry, Harry.
Well, you just sat there and said that the sciatica pain comes and goes. Now you're saying you have it every day. Chantal, stick to a story.
Julia. Like, people can call me a friggin' animal abuser because I don't get him a bigger cage. I don't give a crap anymore. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, I do pray and reflect, Sue Ellen. Don't worry, I do that. She likes to talk about your bankruptcy like she hasn't been sued by 5 landlords for unpaid rent. like eight times. Yeah. I've never been taken to court once for anything like that. Like, no, I've never for the unpaid rent or anything. Yeah, they call it lawsuits. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what about this last time when you were in the villa? Boy, you were slick about that, weren't you, Chantal? You moved in with Pete's. Pete's had his name on the lease, which freed you up from any liability of anything happening at the villa. You had Pete's put his name on the dotted line because he was the one with the good job and the good money and the good credit, and your credit sucked because of your bankruptcy. You agreed to help pay the rent and the bills while you were there, but because you weren't legally bound to the villa any damages that came from you being at the villa basically got transferred over to Pete's. And I'm sure the place was destroyed. That carpet was probably a mess because the cat's peeing and pooping everywhere. You were smoking the green inside the house, upstairs and down, which meant the house probably needed a repaint, repairing the plumbing. You cracked the kitchen floor. I'm sure they got to repair the tile. If the cats have peed on the carpet, the urine might have gotten down to the padding, which means they got to rip that up too. They got to rip it down to the floorboards. Cleaning everything out, all the garbage. Like, how big was that bill? I'm sure that it at least a couple thousand just to make the place livable for the next tenant. And Pete's was probably hit with that bill. Did you pay that bill for him? No. So you moved in with him, used his credit, caused a bunch of damage, and then you ran off and had him deal with it.
Why would she stay with a guy who allowed her to be sued by landlords 8 times? Not all of them are from that. And then she'll say, oh, it's because of my abuser. Okay, well, but then she'll laugh at me for content for paying the bum's rent a couple of times.
Oh, you did more than that. You paid more than a couple months rent for Natter. You were paying his rent every month. What did she do for Natter? She paid his rent every month. She paid the phone bill. She paid for an iPad. She paid for an iPhone, one of the newer ones, the expensive ones. Took him for trips to Montreal, to nice hotels. Took him out to eat. Bought him clothes. Bought him tons of groceries. Like, Natter actually ate better than Chantal. He would eat the lobster and the steak, and like she bought him those gourmet groceries while she ate fast food. I mean, the list of things she bought him and did for him was endless. It wasn't just a couple of times. It was much more than that. Even after the SA and DV allegations, she was still sneaking off to go see him. When he moved to Montreal, she would drive 2 hours there and 2 hours back because she continued to want to see him.
All right. But she paid, how many times did you do, like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway. Yeah, exactly, Capricorn Fairy. It's between me and God, exactly. No one is perfect. Like, how many Christians watch me and never go to church? You know? Because, like, a true Christian, again, if you're judging me, then you're not a true Christian. Like, you like to accuse me because you wouldn't be judging somebody online. Animal like that again. The attorney can get the court to approve you attending virtually or by phone. If it's hardship, you attend. Okay, I'll check into it, Crystal. Thanks for the info. A yellow M&M plushie. I used to have a plushie that was like...
Next.
We're having it sent somewhere. We arranged for it to be sent somewhere. So, inshallah, it will arrive fine. If it arrives damaged, we can request a replacement. And then I'd probably just request it to be sent to my mom's for future when I visit. But, yeah.
Well, it's something that I just thought about. Chantal's listing her channel as being in Canada. So it makes sense that the plaque is being sent to a residence in Canada, not Kuwait.
If you were perfect, you would not be human. Exactly. Exactly. She deserves to defend herself and stand up for what's right. And Cassidy, I don't do it often. I usually let things slide for a while, and then like people are going too far. Like, they go too far to try to, you know, have content. Like, imagine you can make fun of.
Okay, you know what? I'm looking at the date. Today is the 13th. Chantal, you're right on time. We can almost set our watch by you. Reactors, yes or no? The last couple of weeks in the month, she starts putting the gas pedal on, doesn't she? Like, she's right on time. So we got 2 weeks left in the month, a little over 2 weeks, and she's putting on the gas pedal. She's pulling out all the stops. This is what she does. She's a slacker for the first part of the month, But then after this first part, she starts realizing, oh, I didn't make much money this month. I need to pick it up a bit. So we get these rages.
Of my boring content all day, but I'm not hurting anyone at the end of the day. I'm not coming for people. I'm not harassing people. I'm not bullying people. You know, like...
You know what, Chantal? That's where you're wrong. That's where you're so wrong. I'm doing my content and I'm not hurting anybody. You are incorrect. You are hurting people with your content by getting online and self-confessing that you have a problem with food, and you get online and you purposely tag your videos with BED, BED recovery, BED struggles. You might be actively hurting people and affecting other people in their recovery for food issues. And your content is self-harm content. You get online with all of your health issues and you are doing mukbangs. So you're doing self-harm content. You're putting certain tags on your videos, which can lead to other people being harmed or affected. So that's where you're incorrect. You hurt yourself in full view of the public, and at the same time, you might be affecting members of the public. So it's not just harmless fun with you.
They all live disgustingly. They act like they're perfect. Yeah, exactly. Of course. Anyway. Someone buy me a membership.
Nobody's asking Chantal to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. That is such a default defense with her. Oh, nobody's perfect. Nobody's asking you to be perfect. What we'd like, though, is for you to be honest. Can you be honest? Can you be honest with your audience? Can you be honest with yourself? You can be honest. That should be quite easy, but I guess for you it's really, really hard because you're hardly ever honest. Try being honest. We're not asking for perfection. We're asking for honesty.
When's your birthday, Vegas? Howie, I heard something when I was younger, never forgot. How people treat you with their karma, how you react is yours. Yeah, for sure, Wolf Pup. She kind of looks like your old buddy, Alphabet. Alf, yeah, I used to have an Alf doll. The point is kind of like buying a goldfish and housing them in something too small because pet stores give the wrong info. You're not a bad person for not getting a big cage. Yeah, I know, Dove, thanks, but like ideally, like I wish I could give him a house.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah, they're all obsessed. They do it to get a reaction so they can get content. Exactly. That in alone speaks volumes about who they are. Like, hi Kelly. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I made boring videos about myself. I love Barbie doll. Oh, I want to see Vanessa. I like Barbies. I used to play with them all the time. Yeah, exactly, Ava. Okay, good night, Gracie. Mortified. You won't catch my mom, who has a life, making fun of another person's body online for content. Like, embarrassing. Thanks, Vegas doll. Beautiful gypsy princess. Disgusting. Okay, Vanna.
Gee, how things have changed. You know, I remember back in the day when Chantal did a rage stream, it was a rage all the way through. Nowadays, Chantal doesn't have enough energy to properly rage. She'll get all the stuff out of her system really, really quickly. And then after that, it's just, she's done with her rage. She's just continuing to talk to let the meter run up. And it feels like she's lost some steam here.
Vanessa, I just turned 46. Really, Vegas doll? I thought you were younger.
Like, she's got something to say. She'll say what she's got to say. And then she spends the rest of the time just making normal conversation.
I thought you were like in your 30s.
Come on.
Hey, Brittany. Oh, really? Which one? Just 8? I'll block them. Beepers. I don't. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think you're talking about like a video that was from when I first became Muslim. Yeah, because like I don't blame people for having that reaction when I first started getting into Islam. Like I started wearing a hijab and people went nuts. You're not Muslim. Like take that off. People were shocked because of look at my past. It's been 2 years. Like, or like, I don't know how, like, yeah, almost 2 years anyways. It's been a long time. Okay. So, and I'm still wearing it. I'm still wearing the hijab. I'm still praying. I'm still Muslim. So.
You know, Chantal, I got money on a bet. And my bet is very simple. When this whole thing with you and Salah comes to a close, and eventually it's going to have to, at some point it's got to be over. For one reason or another, it's going to have to end. When it does end, you're going to take off the hijab, you're going to take off the abaya, and you're going to go back to who you once were. I'm not saying you have to do party favors or anything, but you're only doing this to be accepted by Salah. Let's be honest. This has nothing to do with Allah or being a Muslim woman. You're doing it for a man. Your heart is not in the right place. That's why you're free to do whatever it is you want to do, at the same time claiming to be a Muslim woman. But when you were in Canada and you were mad at Salah, you were instantly thinking of taking off the hijab. That tells me that your faith does not run that deep. You want to take off the hijab, take off the abaya, be done with it. I mean, just that quick. So when this whole thing between you and Salah dissolves, when it's over, you're going to be a whole different person. And you're going to turn it around and say, oh, it's Salah's fault. You're going to blame your change in faith on him, being mad at him.
And whether people who are like ignorant think so or not, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Hi, Suan. Welcome, salam. These people who sit here and talk about you and judge you for what you've done in your life must have a messed up life themselves. I don't know what their problem is. After that, we have to pray Isha. Thanks, Ava. Are you talking about me? Yeah, it's for like, yeah, it's kind of like almost 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah. I can't wait.
See, basically, she's just sitting here looking at the chat, looking for things to talk about. Just waiting for them to tell her something so she can say something back. She's watching the clock. Like her rage is over. She run out of steam. Now it's like, I'm just going to let the clock run out so I can get more ad money.
Thank you. May I be kind?
Next. Come on, Circle of Death.
I wanted to bring up that point specifically because I see that a lot, you know, and there's a huge difference. Yeah. And he's repented enough. He's dealt with it. Like it's done, you know? So I don't know. He might start making content again, but he's busy with other things now. Like he just wasn't really having them. Like he likes to do the vlogs when we're traveling and stuff, but Yeah. King Beezer. King shaming. They have to put Whoppers candy milk in a carton. It just makes me want to pour them into it. Yeah, I like the packaging. It's cool. It's between him and Allah. Hate me all you want, okay? Block me out of your life if I'm such a bad person. All right? I'm not getting him a bigger cage. Poor Howie, boo-hoo, small violin. Like, and yes, I can still be a bee when I want to.
Yeah, but should you be a bee during Ramadan is the question.
Some hamsters don't even have bigger cage, have no traits. People can...
Like if she wanted to show that she was going through some kind of spiritual growth, could she have shown that by, even though she's got the moment to be angry and irritated, walking away from it versus leaning into it? If she, during this time of Ramadan, if she's going on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok and she sees something that's making her angry, wouldn't it show some kind of growth if she said to herself, you know what, I could get mad at this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to sit here and pray. I am not going to do some self-reflection. I am not going to let this interfere in my personal private time. Would that not have shown some growth? It would have.
Can afford it. Yeah, like what kind of life would he be living in Dream all right now? Please. I'm tired of people like always like mind your business how people take care of their pets unless they're like severely like harming their... Oh my God. See why you're annoying? Wait, Capricorn Fairy, are you saying that tell them they're dreaming is Missy Moo? It's not that simple. I have the biggest cage from Pet Zone. I already told you that. So what, a 2-inch more bigger cage is going to make a difference if it exists? No. Okay? You buy him a bigger cage, ship it here. All right? How about that?
Like, so people in the chat are saying that Missy Moo is in the chat under a different name. This person's comment, tell them they're dreaming, saying I've owned many types of pets and the cage is too small, full stop. Go and buy a bigger cage. It's simple. I don't know if that's Missy Moo, but I do have questions. I have serious questions for Chantal and Missy Moo. The fact that Missy Moo was spotted in Chantal's Twitch stream, her live stream, when she was playing Phasmophobia. If Chantal and Missy Moo have a problem with each other, why would Chantal allow her on her Twitch stream? Why wouldn't she ban her from coming in? Likewise, on her channel. If she's got a problem with Missy Moo, why isn't Missy Moo banned off her channel? If you don't like someone, you got a problem with them, wouldn't they be one of the first people you block so they can't come in and bother you? And another thing, if Missy Moo and Chantal have issues with each other, especially online, wouldn't it just be a normal thing for one or both parties to just take out a flamethrower and burn the bridge to where there's not even a stick of wood left? When you're done with somebody, you're done. But I have never seen or heard much of anything that points in that direction. I mean, yeah, they talk about each other a little bit, you know, but they're not going past that red line. You know what I mean? Neither one has gone past that red line. I mean, you can tell when somebody's done when another person, when they're really done, and they talk about each other, but they won't go past a certain point. And that was kind of the same thing with Chantal and Natter. Yeah, they talk about each other. They talk mad trash, but neither one of them will step over that red line. And the door is still open. I think Missy Moo is still in Chantal's back pocket. She's just trying to put off appearances like, yeah, we still have a problem with each other. Do you? I wonder.
It's one hamster and she lets him out and cleans the cage. It's not like sitting in filth. I want to see people.
So here's my feeling with Chantal and people around her. Couple of thoughts. The people that say they have a problem with Chantal, either it's all for the camera and things are okay behind the scenes. There might be some financial agreements. There might be some financial compensation. There might be some communication. Or maybe one of the reasons why those people that know things about Chantal aren't talking is because Chantal's got some dirt on them. Because she is a dirty pool player. If she knows some dirt on you, she'll put that in her back pocket. And if you open your mouth, then she'll release that ace up her sleeve. So either these people really don't have a problem with Chantal, or if they do, they're not going to talk because she's got some dirt on them. And they got to hold back. But Missy Moo's talking about Chantal again. It's like if you two have a problem with each other, then if you hate each other, then maybe don't focus on each other. You know, like go do something else.
Those homes, yeah.
You don't focus on people you hate.
The best corned beef roast with potatoes and onions. Wow, yum. Sounds good.
Are we done here?
My home is spotless but have CD. It's like owning a black hat.
So this person, Capricorn Fairy, says, yes, Missy Moo is back and made a few videos about Chantal over the past few days. But the big question is why? Why would she go quiet and then all of a sudden make a bunch of videos? Like, what's the point? If you got a new channel and you're doing new content, why would you bring Chantal into it? Like, what is the obsession here? What is up with that? If you got the chance to walk away from something that's supposedly toxic, why wouldn't you? Why continue to focus on it? Do you have any new tea? You got something to say? Then say it. Stop all that side bitching.
I don't think it's exactly like that, but your animals are just fine. It's in their DNA. Yeah, he's a spoiled hamster. Like, she's back and made a few videos about me. Seriously? Like, seriously. I'm the problem here. Okay.
Yeah, Missy Moon, like she's got a lot to say and yet nothing to say. When she does speak, she's not telling us anything of interest that we haven't heard a million times before. There's no tea receipts coming out of Missy unless she proves me wrong. And again, there's that red line thing. If you've got two people that supposedly hate each other, they're mortal enemies, you burn that bridge. You burn it to where you know you're not going to walk across it again. You will go the distance. I haven't felt that between Chantal and Missy. I haven't felt that between her and Natter. Like there's a reason why everybody holds back. And there's a possibility that they still might be working with each other, because when you're done, you're done. And when you're not done, you're not done. You keep the door open.
Like, some people just need to stay gone. Or at least stay out of my life, stay out of my business, and just go away. Stop virtue signaling when, like, seriously, your dog always looks crusty as hell. Don't even come in here. Yeah. Stay away.
Well, if Chantal wanted to keep Missy Moo out of her room, all she got to do is block her. So why haven't you blocked her? Make it make sense. Why didn't you block her on Twitch? Why haven't you blocked her on your channel? Can you please explain this to me? Why she's not blocked? If you hate her, why isn't she blocked? Somebody gives you a problem, push that block button. You'll block the VIBs and the subs that get on your nerves. Why won't you block Missy? You're not making sense right now.
I want nothing to do with you. Like, when I kick people out of my life or whatever, like, or my chat, just stay gone. Who's up there in the hall? I think I'm gonna have Salah take me out for iftar tonight. I don't about it a lot. Yeah, how come, Brit?
Next.
Look at my hijab, how it slips if I don't really undercap. I'm on a day where everything is going wonky. Oh no, Sylvael, I hate that. I get so mad. The other day when I was cooking.
Okay, you know what? We've got like, 24 minutes left. She's getting boring. She's winding down. That's obvious. We don't need to see anymore, do we? She said what she wanted to say. She got the rage out of her system. Now she's just, burning the midnight oil, making the stream longer for more ad money. So we'll just cut it off here. So I know this is a bit of a longer react. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.